That's so raunchy. Greetings and welcome. Thank you for stopping by here on YouTube Live at The Real Bloom. From Within Love, I go by Bloomy. Welcome and thank you. Anything you need to know about me should be listed in the description box. So, to all my returning viewers and subscribers, I just want to send you love and light. Those of you who are of high vibe energy, of course. Those of you who are here on divine guidance. Those of you who are on love and light. I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you. May you be well. I'm sending you love and light, and I appreciate your support. I appreciate your positivity. I appreciate every like, share, subscribe, all that good old stuff. And YouTube is actually growing. So I just want to say welcome all the newbies. If you were divinely guided here, I hope that you find a variety of things here at Bloom from Within Love, which I typically say that is just kind of like the one-stop shop here, okay? Can't really put me in the box. Bloom from Within Love is my life journey as a divine feminine, the process to my own personal awakening, and all of that all wrapped up in one. Okay, and my contribution to the collective, why I carnated into this lifetime. Okay, and so with Bloom from Within Love, it's about a holistic approach to things. It's about unlearning to relearn. It's about getting unplugged, if you will, to get plugged into your true higher self, to get an alignment with the source creator, dismantle the structures, the traumas, the energy imprints, and all those things that have created your realities prior to awakening and healing and ascending, clearing karma, going towards North Node. And with that, I use many approaches. So we deal with the physical, we deal with the energetic, we deal with the spiritual, we hit every angle here. And it's true to life. So sometimes you're going to get some polished things from me. Other times it's going to be more raw, rare, real, and uncut. Sometimes you guys are going to get humor. Sometimes you guys are going to get some very heartbreaking stories. Other times you're going to get some good Reiki sessions. And so I really hope if you're new that you're able to kind of go through and get what you need when you need it the most, okay? And so, as I promised, I haven't been able to do you guys the readings. I won't be able to get to the readings in depth for the rest of the week, probably. So, I said that I would reach out here and there when I can get it in when I can, okay? So, with that being said, the title, okay? The title, you guys see it says, they always use pawns. You know this now, okay? And talking about Narcs or Karmics. And what motivated that title and discussion is a couple of things. One, an old memory had came back to mind, something that happened to me when I was a little girl, okay? And it's involving my older sister. And when I first got out here, or within the first few years that I got into Nevada anyway, she confirmed that, okay, that memory was true. So when I was a little girl, I can't remember my exact age or hers, but there was this neighborhood girl. They called her Curlin. I think that was her name. And she was special needs. Like she was, I'm not quite sure what her special needs was, but whether it was retardation or intellectual impairment, I'm not sure. She looked fairly normal. Um, she was a pretty little girl, but she got bullied and teased, as is typical, unfortunately, um, when somebody is like that. And so one day, I'm not sure why, I'm not sure what happened. One day, my older sister had, she picked me up, or she did something, and um, she told me to hit Carolyn. And I did, of course. I mean, I didn't know why I hit Carolyn. And I think she told Carolyn she better not hit me back or something like that. I can't remember it exactly. But the point of why I'm sharing this is because I feel like it's a deeper revelation about the way energy works. It's a deeper revelation about the way narcissism pawn. I'm simply meaning that, first of all, if they're doing black magic and stuff like that, so they're casting spells on people, or they're just very manipulative and sneaky and tricky. And so the flying monkeys, or those that they have in their web, they kind of convince all these people to do their dirty work, okay? Because that's what's really driving them. And so the way they do it is either they'll lure the person in and either tell some type of a story or a lie to get that person to be willing to do something that they really want to do, but don't want to have to suffer the consequence for. So they use other people to do their dirty work. They want to be hidden. Okay. And now here's what I feel like happens with all of that. And so I'm going to send some alerts out to many of you who may come on here later. Be careful, because let me tell you something. This is the lessons I feel like everyone will eventually have for themselves. Don't be so quick to go do something dumb, okay? Evil, wicked, something foolish. Listening to somebody, first and foremost, you don't really know how true it is, okay? You don't know the accuracy, okay? And second of all, whether or not it is true, understand that what someone is asking you to do, you are going to reap the karma, because, it's all fun and games and it's cool and dandy, until some of this stuff, hits you. Now, they don't escape the karma, right? But they try to dissipate it. They try to disperse it. They try to delegate it so that they're not absorbing the karma by themselves, and then so that they could go about looking as if they did nothing. But they were behind it to begin with, right? And when I thought of that memory, I was like, wow, that's the way. So my guidance and advice is, not only for myself, but just anyone. I feel like this is a call to maturity and growing up in life. Because, yeah, it's cute to try to get somebody in a group and riled up and go, we're going to team up against this one, and we're going to go and do this to them, and we're going to this and that. That's very immature, by the way. That's how high schoolers act. And if you're not in high school and you're still acting like that, you may need to sit yourself down and go, am I still 17, or, what I'm saying? Because past a certain age, we shouldn't even really be allowing ourselves to get riled up that way, to do dumb shit. Somebody come to you, be like, what I'm saying? Woo, like that dumb, ignorant talk. You know what I'm saying? This, they did this, what I'm saying? Did you hear that? Woo, woo. So let's team up against them. Woo, behind the scene. Woo, we gonna do this and we gonna do that, and we gonna set them up to get beat up. We gonna set them up. You know what I'm saying? We gonna break, all this stupid, childish, ghetto, immature mentalities that people don't realize has karmic ramification for them. So we all really need to second guess some of this stuff, because no one goes away unscathed here. And Karmics and Narcs are classic and notorious for getting other people to do their dirty work. It's their attempt to escape karma. It's their attempt to not be seen. So they could play dumb and innocent, looks clueless, like they don't know what the hell is happening, Yeah. Okay. So at the end of the day, it serves everyone well. Before you do something dumb towards somebody that chances are you don't even really know, before you do something dumb towards somebody that chances are is a divine being, and you're going to pay the price. Before you do something dumb to hurt or harm somebody, or to team up with somebody on some bogus, some bullshit, right? That high school shit. Sit with yourself and ask yourself, can I live with the karma? Can I live with the ramification, the possible karma and ramification that I am going to receive? To hell with the person who got you to do it, because they're going to get their shit anyway. Hell, they're in their shit and they're going to continue to get their shit. This is why they try to get other people, because they want other people to absorb their karma. Oh, shit. Ask yourself, can I? When the rubber meets the road, can I? Because it's not going to be cute and fun when this happens. The $500 they gave me, it ain't going to be cute and fun when this happens. The guaranteed, woo, woo, woo every month, or, whatever, it's not going to be fun when this happens. When now my life fucked up because I done messed around and done some shit that didn't seem to be that big of a deal. But anytime that we're calling ourselves taking matters into our own hands in negative ways, breaking laws, intruding upon others, lying on others, trying to set someone up and all that. Anytime we take on that kind of an energy, for whatever the reason is, there's going to be a ramification. And if it was a divine being that was targeted, there's going to be even a higher ramification. And karmics and narcs are notorious for throwing, hiding their head and throwing the rock onto that targeted one as if this is why. But it's because of them. The targeted one almost always hadn't done anything to any of these people. The reason why some of the stuff started happening to these people is because they're connected to karmics. Because in some cases, the karmics are doing it because they like people codependent on them. They like people to be in their energy, okay, especially a narc, but they can't admit it. So it's a very sick, insidious, like chess game of sabotaging someone so that they have to be around. Sabotage someone so they have to keep coming around. Sabotage someone, but out your hand and then throw the rock to the divine being and say that they did it to get them all riled up. For an example, case in point, it's easy to throw the rocks. I said this the other day. I'm calling out all the bullshit. It's time for cleaning house. It's easy to throw the rock towards the divine being that's on a certain kind of a path. So I'm going to give you guys case in point. A group of Christians or so-called Christians, and I say it that way because most of these people, if you really knew them and you knew their energy and you knew the shit that they be about, you would shake your head. But because they have that label and that persona, and if they themselves are narcs, or karmics, then they do all kinds of heinous shit. And then to try to kill two birds in one stone, the target of their, their anger, their jealousy, their rage, right? The divine being, they try to kill two birds in one stone. So they want to keep these people, they're flying monkeys, these individuals codependent on them. So they got to sabotage their lives in some level so that they will stay. Get them addicted, do a spell, whatever the fuck, right? Then when karma starts to happen to these individuals, then the narc or the karmic throws the rock and say it's the divine being, because here's the case in point. Like I said, if they're claiming Christianity or some form of traditionalist, label, it's easier to believe that someone who's non-traditional did it. The insidious, sad thing about that is all these people end up paying heavy prices because The tarot reader or the eccentric divine being that's not on a traditionalist path did nothing. This is something that can't be denied universally. God, source, creator, whatever you want to call it, can't be denied. It's a reality, it's a frequency. So when individuals do this, because, you know, they'll use a scripture and say, they say this is of evilness. You know, I'm not going to get too deep in that, because that's a whole nother teaching. And I'll do this later on if I'm guided down the road to really break down some shiznit. Okay? But they'll say something like that. But see, this is where my point is going, you guys. Got to catch up. Careful. Because whether or not you believe that to be true, be careful. Because someone will be luring you in to do some shit that you gonna pay for. Because if that divine being that is being targeted because of their belief or what they're practicing, and the narc is only using it because chances are they're a hypocrite. Oh, that's where I'm going. Thank you. Let me just say this. Let's go ahead and get this out. This is why I shake my head, and many others that are awakening and ascending and, you know, all this stuff shake their heads, because most of these people that are claiming some kind of Christianity, most of them, not all of them, okay? Most of the ones that be involved in some of the fuck shit, okay? Let's put it this way. They themselves, they be like, oh, we don't do tarot, but they got a fucking astrology app on their phone. They looking at their fucking horoscope and they don't even know. See, that's that lack of knowledge. They don't even know that that's one and the same. Astrology and zodiacs and all of that stuff and horoscopes, it's all one and the same. It's about energy. It goes together with tarot. That's why I be shaking my head. I'm like, the ignorance here. Okay. And then, so on top of that, you know, they be like, ooh, it say this, but your fucking ass is fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on. And then they'll, you know, try to hide, like, oh, since they're into that, you know, they're probably the ones that casted a spell on you. No divine beings do that. That's karmic motherfuckers. Okay? That what belief system or practices, true divine beings do not live their lives in that manner. Then, you know, people in their ignorance and then being spell casted by these folks under the illusions and the spell. Oh yeah, this is happening because they did it. And mess around and do some dumb shit that you gonna reap it. This is the lesson that every human must get. Know what you're doing and know why you're doing it, because you're gonna reap it. Before you do what you do, sit with it good and long. And ask yourself, is that $500 a month that they paying you to keep your mouth shut? Whatever. Because when them good old boys, you know what I'm saying, come around, when Big Brother, when them good old boys come around, they gonna play dumb. So they gonna let you take the fall. They gonna act like, you know, they don't even understand what's happening. And because you agreed to it, and the proofs are gonna end up pointing back to you, you're gonna be done. This is why I say this is what they do. This is one of the greatest lessons. I know that the divines have learned already. Always pawns. They hide behind their pawns and target their scapegoat who have done a thing. This is why people need to wake the fuck up. I mean, well, this is more plausible. Shit, somebody versus somebody who's wearing a label and an appearance of godliness, but wicked to the bone inside. Hide behind act of service, things in a 3D. This will always get us caught up. Understand that people always have these types of individuals, karmics, and they always have a group of people that's going to bid for them. So do yourself a favor. When you find yourself in these situations and people are trying to rile you up against somebody, start learning how to use your own mind, because you may be just about to start racking up some bad karma for you and your own people. Because I'm going to make it known, clear, and official. And I don't care what no one has said out there. I don't participate in that type of thing. Okay? I don't believe in interfering in other people's lives. I don't believe in trying to bend someone else's will and someone else's destiny. Okay, let's make this clear. That's a karmic energy. Those are even some of the people that are claiming Christianity or some other form of a religion do, because anytime you are not minding your own business, meddling, gossiping, speaking words over people, you are spell casting. I don't practice that. Many of the other beautiful readers that I adore. But see, you guys, that's the nature of life. I say it all the time. In everything on this earth, there is a high vibration and a low vibration. Any and everything can be exploited. You're going to always have somebody in anything. You can go from Catholicism, Christianity, Buddhism, fucking pedestrian, fucking, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to call shit. Anytime our beliefs is allowing us or steering us in a direction that makes us feel like we have a right to intrude upon another, it is false. It is ego. It has nothing to do with divine. I don't care what people gather to try to support it, it is false. Anytime a practice, right, allows such or supports such, divine energy is as such. Divine energy will defend when it is necessary. But divine energies do not, even if they don't agree necessarily, they don't like something necessarily, they could even see where something is like toxic as it can be. But they do understand divinity and the free will of every individual on the earth. They don't wish death on people's lives. They don't hide it behind a scripture. They don't do manipulation tactics to get somebody to choose them to be with them. They don't gossip behind people's back and then smile at them, you know, at the coffee table an hour later and act like it never happened. They don't get other people to do their evil work and pretend like they know nothing of it. That's not divine's energy in any arena. People who are truly in divine energy, they are not like that. They respect folks whether they agree with folks or not. If it's something that they ain't about, they get down, they just stay away from it. Understanding that at the end of the day, the laws of the universe are at play. So if people are out there doing something harmful to folks, at some point, things turn around, you will, do your part legally if it's something to that effect. Okay, somebody breaking in their house, you see it, you call the cops, yada, yada. But I'm saying in terms of like other things that we don't have the right to interfere with. Nor do we have the right to try to project and to so-called declare something over someone based on the illusion and disillusionment of our own framework. And then wonder why it makes it circle back. Okay, but usually then people are, depending on their background, then they'd be like, ooh, the devil, no, the karma, because you were being the devil. Now it's the karma. Because guess what? You spent months trying to do this to somebody. Here it comes. Here it comes. Right? You wish this on a person. So guess what? You never thought it was going to come. Here it comes. But the point of the conversation is for individuals that are either in that process of maybe you're just recently newly awakening. And even if you're not, if there was a part of you that, something didn't feel right or sit right, but you allowed yourself to still kind of get caught up. This is for those of you who are in that place so that you can know, like, look, because at the end of the day, it is your life. And understand that your life's choices and decisions, you reap the karma for, good or bad. Whether you did this for someone else or not, you're still going to suffer. That's why it's a call for healing, ascension, and all that stuff, because what inside of a person that would drive you to do something stupid or hurtful or illegal in some cases. It's a call to question one's mind, one's mental health, one's emotional intelligence. To reflect upon and say, hey, hold up, I'm 1,000 years old, man. And I'm still acting like that. I'm still acting like when I was in high school. I'm still I'm still, going around gossiping, trying to cause chaos and conflict, which Narcs, by the way, they love this. You guys are going to have to catch a clue. Got to catch a clue. They like people in a brawl and fighting and, because I don't want to get too deep on this video, but they're so empty. So they like all of this idea of chaos, people fighting for them, people fighting over them, all this. Yeah, they say they don't, but they like it. It makes them feel important. So if you are allowing yourself to be a pawn in these schemes, it's time for you to go ahead and sit down somewhere and go, you know what? Nah. It's grow up time. We not 12, we not 17. You know what I'm saying? We try to act like we big and bad, so it's time for us to act like adults then. Because adults have no interest, real mature, full mature. I ain't talking about chronological. I'm not talking about people who have managed to buy shit. I'm talking about a healthy, whole, sound, balanced, mature adult person. no matter what their background is, no matter what their belief system is, have no desire and or interest in trying to do fuck shit for nobody and for no reason. Because they understand, first and foremost, that chances are there's more to it than meets the eye. 2, karma. Getting themselves entangled in shit, they will pay for it. So whoever comes on here at some point, because, you know, I do get that a lot of different folks come on here at some point. So whoever you are and wherever you are on your journey, I invite you to start asking those, you know, deeper questions to yourself. For some people, you know, people in the lack consciousness, yeah, they'll sell their soul. They'll go ahead and accept the karma for $500. But then they'll end up living their lives in that kind of energy. They'll be constantly in a karmic ramification, constantly trying to find another scheme to get out of that ramification. So just a life of tumultuous karmic cycles of hell. For being willing to participate in hellish things towards others. At the end of the day, first of all, start being one that questions things. Don't just sit and follow. Don't be a drone. Don't be a a fucking, you know what I'm saying? That's just sit there and swallow everything because they said it and because this group said it and because they got a business or, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't be one to just do that. Learn how to have your own mind. Learn how to tap within. Learn how to look beyond the surface of things. Don't be afraid to be an individual. Stop that group thinking mentality. That's what's getting people in trouble. They're all going down. Because if it's toxic, it ain't going to help you. If it's erroneous, it's not going to help you. If it's not jiving with your soul's resonance and you're still trying to do it, it ain't going to help you. Take it down. It's check-in time, collective. High vibers, I already know where you all are. Okay, those of you who are my high vibers, you've grabbed these lessons. This is why you left Sodom and Gomorrah. You're in new seasons, and these are wisdom nuggets and reminders that now, right? But the others of you who are maybe coming behind the high vibers, newly awakening, and for some of you, karmics. It's grown up time, all that, whether we want it or not. Because it's going to come in the forms of, we'll start to eventually slowly see that all we participate in, we reap. So we're going to have to ask the question is, that was it worth it? What do you value? What's important to you? All of that stuff. I can give you guys, a little bit. I'll share, just some regular 3D shit, how we all read, the cause and effect, right? Let's say you get in the groove, especially when we're young. We've all done dumb shit, right? Even if we've awakened and we've healed and ascended and we're in a new life, yada, yada. Okay, yeah. But once upon a time, we were not awakened, and once upon a time, we were young. So like most youngsters, especially unawakened youngsters, chances are we did a whole lot of dumb shit. Peer pressure, group shit, you know what I'm saying? Doing shit, illegal shit, right? That we ain't got no business doing. And in some cases, we may have gotten away with stuff. In other cases, cause and effect. And that very group that got you involved with it, if they were not the ones, like if they used you as the pawn, then you had to take the fall, even though it was 6 motherfuckers that were truly behind it. So that's a lesson of, at the end of the day, no matter what the reasonings are and what, why, and how, and all of that, your action still has an effect. It's unfortunate somebody duped you, peer pressure when we're young and things like that, and they get their forms of karma. But if we were the pawn used to execute something illegal or to execute something dumb or harmful to somebody, then we are going to reap the heavier weight. They may get karma, but you may be the one that have to go to jail because you are the one that agreed to sign this and sign that and be, so they may still get their karma, but because there's no proofs to show their involvement in that particular situation, then you would be the one that have to take the hit, right? So I'm sharing that analogy because it's like, this is what people need to get. This is what Narcs do, Karmics do, because they're trying to not have to take the full blow of their fuck shit. So they convince other people to break laws for them. They convince other people to forge things for them. They convince other people to cyber stalk and bully and do nasty comments and to steal content, because if the FBI gets involved, when all of these deeper investigations take full play, when all of this stuff is pulled up and traced, their hope is so that they're not traced. And they'll let you go down for the fall. And then how y'all gonna be feeling then? How you gonna feel about it? You're gonna be, sitting there wishing you weren't so quick to be trying to do some shit for somebody. It's grow up time. And it's very sad. I just want to add, for those that, are no longer youngsters, first and foremost, and that have actually healed and grown and matured and out, this stuff starts to just look more and more ridiculous. All of this energy and focus that these individual lives are, focus and energy on fuck shit could have been so used in a higher vibrational way for their own lives that they're griping about. All this concentration on someone else's money, on what someone else got, and wanting to steal that and cry later at the altar about why something went wrong. If individuals will put their focus and attention and concentration on healing themselves, realizing where they need it, going on their own individual journeys and paths, investing in themselves in a health sense, life could be very different. less toxic karmic ramification and fuck shit. So that's what I mean by that. It's sad. It is a sad, it's so sad. The ones that they do this to, especially if they're divine, they get their justice one way or the other. That's a part of it. They live through a lot of fuck shit, but it makes them superhuman in a way. It helps them to heal and deal. So they're able to alchemize and use the fuck shit. That's what divines do. They alchemize. They use the fuck shit. They use the trauma, the pain. They use everything that was meant to rip them to shreds. They use it to become a force to be reckoned with. And then they get their justice. So essentially, when it's all said and done and unfolded, it was all for nothing. And people fucked up their lives and other people's lives, all because individuals don't want to be truthful and honest and self-reflect and heal and deal with their own shit. So that's what's sad. The lives, the casualties of, you know, these people that narcs and karmics get, you know what I'm saying, to come in and do their fuck shit. People start dying off for no reason and shit, crazy shit. Karmics playing innocent. I don't know, I'm at church. Yeah. Weird shit. Folks feel like their lives is chaotic and toxic ever since they got around them, but they're not putting it together. Right? This is what's sad. Unnecessary lives that have been negatively affected. So it's up to you all collective. You can't change a narc. If you're dealing with a narc or a karmic, hang that up. Okay? Hang it up. It's up to you as an individual to determine what you're feeling and sensing. That's why I'm addressing it in this way, because you live with your choices. I don't care what the hell they said, who they are, nothing. You gonna live with what you do. And the karmic and the narc ain't gonna be able to say it. I'll let you know right now. Not a spell or a prayer. We reap. It's the law of cause and effect. They're always using pawns and then they try to flee the country. And they still gonna get God, though. They gonna get God. It's coming for them. They still gonna get God. You know, because things have to be balanced in the universe. And I know somebody is saying, well, what about all of these injustices in the world, right? We're in a war, or at least we're supporting a war currently. We hear about, all of these all this crazy shit, right? Right, exactly. So things are always countering and balancing these things out. These things do happen. But don't think for one moment, even narcs, people always ask this question about narcs, but, I feel like, I really feel like for them, it may seem different because they're so disconnected. So because they're disconnected, then you may not see it in the same way as you would someone that was truly connected to their heart space and their emotions and their, source and their divinity. Narcs typically aren't. So it's like the American Psycho movie, Only people who are truly disconnected from the divinity of source, and their emotions and themselves could go about life doing a multitude of heinous things to people, yet act like they didn't. It takes, you gotta be a narc. You have to be. Because if you were connected to your consciousness, it's not going to sit. It's not going to let you. It's going to bug the fuck out of you. It's going to bug the fuck out of you until it is. It's going to bug the fuck out of your life until something. You're going to be like, ooh, You're going to go to church. You're going to do this and that. You're going to say this. And then you're going to be like, I got to tell the truth. I got to tell the truth. I got to tell the truth. It's going to bug you. I got to make it right. I got to make it right. You're not going to be able to sit with it. So this is how I can tell the difference. So I invite you to learn how to do that for yourself as well. We don't need to have people to go and get a fucking diagnosis. Chances are they're not going to do that. So it's up to us to just be able to tell. If you knew people did some heinous shit and they're going around acting, just as blank, then chances are they're a narc, psychopath, sociopath. Okay? And if you do some shit for them, you're going to reap that karma. And they will let you take the fall and play dumb. Hell, they may even twist the shit, depending on how delusional they are and twisted. They may even twist some shit and be like, they may even show up and be like, oh, I don't know what's wrong with them, Oh my gosh, I've always been so caring and concerned. And they were the ones that told you to do the shit. And now they got you on locked up status. Clink, clink. They got you. They got you in psych ward and shit. Because they get you to react, right, due to some fucked up shit, which any bleeding human would, with a still red blood that ain't demonized. Okay, so they got you to react, so they can then be, that American Psycho energy, go calm and neutral. And go, oh my, I'm just so concerned. I've just, I've been so worried about this person. I possibly do to get them on the right path, to help them. And they're the corporate the whole time. That's what's insidious about that, isn't it? That's why it serves you all well to do your own due diligence, to heal, and to clean and clear your life. As long as you stay attached to these type of people, you can bet your bottom dollar they're going to be feeding all your energy, draining you, putting shit in your food, putting shit on your clothes, because that's how they operate. Intruding on your privacy and you don't know it, because that's how they operate. They do not respect boundaries. So they're intruding on your privacy, your electronic privacy, your physical privacy. Yeah, you can bet your bottom dollar. So to do something for yourself separate of that kind of stuff, it's like, okay, that's a little different. Hopefully we learn and we grow, right? But don't be somebody's pawn. Because first of all, they're going to turn on you anyway when you least expect it. So don't do that. Don't be somebody's pawn. Let people do their own dirty work. If they got an issue with somebody, let them be man and woman enough to not be a coward and face to face whoever the individual is that they claim they have a problem with, instead of being cowardly. Let them handle their own shit. And don't believe what they're telling you so they can get you involved in it. If you don't know emphatically that somebody has done something to you, as a matter of factly, it'll serve you well to not touch the fuckers. Let them own investigation. Likewise, you. But don't be caught up in somebody else's fuck shit and stories. Don't be so quick to believe everything that you hear, and even from me or anybody. Learn how to tap into your own discernment. That's why I laugh when people be talking about how discerning they are. I'm like, you okay? I'm okay. If you were discerning, then you would know. Period. You would know. So fuck off with that shit. Because if you were so discerning, you would have known what really went down. The fact of the matter is, sometimes things aren't always as on point. Your intuition. And the energy ain't clean and shit, all fucked up. Oh boy. So, you can't be relying on that. Follow your own and then be careful with that, especially when it comes to doing something dumb. The best thing, and I'll end it here. When there's a question, if there's a question mark, the best thing any of us can do in these kinds of situations and moments, you know what I'm saying, where maybe we're not sure about something or what somebody has said or presented, or things of that nature, and it involves other lives that aren't there to speak for themselves, or you know what I'm saying, the best things that we can do is be quiet and pull the fuck out and do nothing before making hasty movements, decisions, words, activities that you may pay for in ways you never thought you would. And I don't care who presented it. You got to get over all that. We got to get over the grandma granny with the glasses and the lady bent over with the cane and, crying. All these are tactics. All you guys got to do is think about any video game or any movie and all these things where this is the great illusion and distraction to do what? Make people take their defense down. Make people believe that they're this harmless, helpless, and they're the ones with the most venom and poison. And I'm only saying this to say, guys, that looking past the external, I'm not saying that every old lady, I'm just using that as an example. Like, we have to get over whatever these little programmed images we have that makes us go, oh. And they the ones trying to kill your ass. When you went to sleep and they stood over you and said, shimmy, shimmy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to get over that. Because they have 12 churches in this town and 1,000 members, or whatever your hang up is, whatever you allow to get you hung up and believing things that are not quite as it seems. Because you the one got to live with it at the end of the day. You the one that's got to live with your decisions and your choices and your behavior, your intentions, your motives, your activities, who you connect to, who you align with. You pay for it. Keep that in mind.